What's up? What's happening?
It's DMT time. Jack's gonna fall out of his chair. You can't believe it. Oh my God. There he goes. Well, I guess I'm gonna be flying solo on this new episode of DMT. Don't miss this podcast where we commit to bits. We fall on dogs that are already injured. We really just do it up because, otherwise I wouldn't be Sam Butler and he wouldn't be Jack Anderson.
That's
we
right.
weren't committing to the bittens.
Now
you got him all wound up.
Yeah, now he's all
He's all hyped up. He's supposed to be staying off that ankle, man.
My B, bro. It's been a week of dog pain.
Yes, it
Not
has
good.
been. It's been
Nobody
a week of
likes
dog
it.
pain. And, I don't know about you, but we took Winston into the veterinarians today.
Hey, I went to the vet this week too.
Yeah, and guess what? You had a much more, I don't know if worthy is a reason for it than I did. So, let's just go ahead and,
Welcome to the dance floor, boys.
Tell me this boy's big faker. Big fake faker.
I don't think he's faking, but man, it's got to be like a pulled muscle or a sprain or something, because like yesterday, you could tell his limp was pretty bad. You saw it. We were over here. And the day before, it was like kind of starting, and I was like, what's up with that? And I checked out his paw, and there was like a little bit of like a tiny thorn stuck in it. And I tweezed that out, and I'm like, let's just see how it goes. And he just kept, licking it, bothering him, and all that stuff. And then it got worse yesterday. I'm like, okay, we should probably get him in there. I call the vet. They say, well, the earliest we can get him in is tomorrow. I'm like,
Of course.
Really? Okay. So he's just walking around limping all day. And then, my dad's always been kind of weird about medical stuff. Like, he just refuses it. And it's not really even it's not even a masculinity thing. He's just like, I found that I don't need it.
Right.
And it's like, you don't need it until you do need it. And you don't know if you need it until you go. So, yeah, and I have that myself, too. Like, I don't take Tylenol. I just suffer.
Sure.
I just suffer. Dayquil. I've just taken some because I might be coming down with something, because this injured boy here just seems to be spazzing out in the bed, man.
Not good.
And it's driving me nuts. Like, sleeping the past 2 days. I'm trying to reset my circadian rhythm. I'm getting in bed at a normal time. I'm falling asleep at a normal time.
Rise with the sunshine.
Yeah. Not Winston's agenda. No. His agenda is, how much of this bed can I take while he's trying to get some good sleep?
Pluto as well. Yes.
Yeah. And does Pluto dig his feet into your side and push you?
Yep. And he's got freaking 2 foot long legs that he can roll me off the bed with.
And here's what I don't get. Okay, I said I didn't have much of a Sammy soapbox, but here's my little Sammy soapbox.
Dig in.
Tiny little rant of Rooney on Winston. Yeah, he's a smart dog. And we go and we check out his leg, right? And my dad and I were like, because my dad is like trying to gaslight this thing, and it's nothing. He's just trying to gaslight it. I'm like, okay.
You've been gaslit a lot these past few weeks.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Between me and your dad.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Pretty fucking neat to have my feelings invalidated.
Can I
Reduced.
ask something that will make me look like a fool in front of everybody? What does gaslighting actually mean?
Okay.
I'm sorry to gaslight and take you off the soapbox, but I don't know what this means.
Okay, I don't know where the colloquial term came from, but it's basically like somebody presents something as like, okay, this is like really important, or this is a big thing for me, this is an issue for me, and then someone just being like, no, it's not that thing. Don't worry about it. That's it's invalidating somebody's emotions.
I see.
That's what it is. I don't know what the term originated from, because when I think about it, I think about like gas lamps.
Yeah, that's exactly
That's
what I think about.
But I'm just like, well, but then there's also stoves and grills.
Maybe it's because
gaslighting those.
Gas fires aren't as real as natural fires.
No, I don't think it's that.
Anyway, Mr. Limpy Magoo over here.
Yeah, Limpster Magooster. And so, like, we're pressing, like, we're working up his leg, pressing on some spots, like, just trying to see if he'll yip at all. Because it's, like, really apparent when he's walking that he's like, I don't want to put weight on this paw at all.
He's just doing it a second ago.
Yeah, he just does not want to do it. And so, we'll press on his paws, check in between the webbing of his toes and all this stuff. Did he step on something else? Or are we not seeing something? Does he have a rash? Nothing apparent. There's no redness, no cuts, no fucking anything. We start working up. And this is already a nightmare because he hates when people grab his paws. Hates it. So it's like it's a two-man job to have someone calm him down and hold him down while the other person inspects his paw.
Right.
And so we're doing that. Working the joint, nothing. Squeezing up his arm, maybe there's a strained muscle there. No. And then get to his elbow, nothing. And then his shoulder, nothing. And then I'm like, well, I don't know what it is, but I don't think he's faking this. I really don't. So we got the appointment. I took him in this morning. I get the call from the vet this afternoon. And he's just like, literally everything I just told you, he did and found the same results. So he's just like, yeah, but he's still pretty lame on that leg. So I think I'm just going to give him some anti-inflammatories, and you guys keep an eye on it. Just 2 a day, check it out. And if after those are done and he's still lame in that leg, then bring him on in. We'll get him x-rayed. And I'm like,
yeah.
So basically, he's giving him doggy Tylenol, and we're going to have to wait this out. And that furthermore pissed me off because my dad was right.
Sure.
His instinct was right. And I'm like, but you never know, especially with dogs, because they can't fucking talk.
Listen, there's no better lesson that I could teach my children,
Yeah.
the listeners of this podcast. Don't go to doctors.
Yeah.
Don't do it. That's all.
Also, just don't talk to your parents about stuff. Because that's 100% the thing. Well, my mom offered to pay for Winston to have the procedure where his testicles are removed.
The snip.
The snipperoonie, And my dad has also been, I don't know about that one. He seems fine. He's not really humping at anything. Gaslighting. And guess what, Jack? Those bye-byes are going. Those ball balls are going bye-bye. and I'm not going to consult him one bit.
Nice.
I'm just going to be like, well, I have an appointment for Winston tomorrow.
Well, it's like we talked about. Think if you could never have sex with anything,
and it was actually hindering you.
Yeah. Would you still want that much testosterone constantly flowing through you? If you had a nice house that you could hang out in, a backyard of this or that, but you couldn't get laid, you could exert this energy,
And he's never been vicious or really sexually charged. No. But so that aggression,
just got big
that
boners
testosterone,
sometimes.
that testosterone manifests itself in boners and also just being aggressively like, I'm so excited to meet you. What's up?
Yes.
Yo!
Yes.
Let's be homies.
That's a lot.
That kind of thing. Because when we were over there, the woman goes, yeah, he was such a sweetheart and, just got along really well with the other dogs for someone that hasn't been neutered. I'm like, don't, keep it down. Keep it down. Yeah, don't let him hear. I mean, he can't hear much, so you don't have to lower your voice that much.
Right.
But I don't want him to hear that.
No, can't have it.
Because then I'll just be like, well, I got his balls cut off, and then I know this is what's going to happen. I'm going to get his balls.
Can I be you and you be your dad? Can we do that? Can we do it that way? So you
break
the procedure has been done.
Breaking news.
Hey, Dad, can I ask you something? Or not really ask. Can I tell you something?
Yeah, sure, buddy.
So I went ahead and did it. I got Winston's not snipped. I just felt like it was best for him.
All right. I mean, I didn't notice anything, wrong with him or what's going on with him.
Well, I just felt like he had a little more energy than he needed. That might help him as he gets older.
Yeah, but I don't know. He just seems like, he's just a dog, just doing dog-like things,
Sure, but he'll still be a dog. This won't change him at any level,
Now, fast forward this conversation 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, we'll be sitting on the couch. Winston will be laying there. We've just finished dinner, turned off what we do in the shadows. And we're sometimes we'll just sit there and just kind of, sit in the silence. And then all the attention will be put on Winston. And then it'll just be like, Winston, do you feel better? Do you feel better? Now your nuts are gone? Do you feel better? And then I'm sitting over there just like,
steaming.
What the fuck are you doing?
The water's starting to boil, you know? He just turned on the stove. And
well, this is what he does all the time, where he just goes, just to Winston. Like, he'll be laying on the couch with us, and he'll be like, Winston, sometimes I just get this, you just get this look on your face where it just seems like you don't quite know if it's all right, You're just not quite sure. Yeah, I'm just like, you're projecting this.
He's a dog.
He's a dog. And if he is feeling that way, he's thinking a dog thought.
What do you think he's trying to say?
I couldn't tell you. Pet me more than you already are. Grow 2 more arms and pet me with those. That's basically what I think he's thinking most of the time.
That makes sense, yeah. And then, pet me with 3 of those arms and use 1 to feed me.
Yeah, basically. Feed me your food. Yeah, don't give me that kibble shit. You give me that Taco Bell.
No, the nonsense.
You give me that Taco Bell right now.
That's right. Let me chow down on that Crunchwrap Supreme.
I think he's just kind of weirded out. He's kind of weirded out. And that was really what I kept using that phrase over and over again to get my dad to let me take him to the vet. Was just like, because he's sprained an ankle before, and it cleared up in a day, no problem. And he goes, that was his big, bring it to the case. Well, he's done this before. It cleared up after a couple days, and I go, yeah. But also, he's just acting pretty weirded out the past couple of days. Sleeping in bed with me, he's not acting all that normal, and just getting around. He just seems totally weirded out by this. Yeah. I just kept throwing that back at him. And finally, he's just like, all right, fucking, he just let it trail off, go out and have a smoke. And then I just called the vet, and I'm like, well, the appointment's for 9:20 tomorrow. He's like, oh, you called him?
Yep. It's really the only way to do it.
And the thing is, too, is like, I could afford it. The copay, he ended up paying for it, but I could afford it. But here I was thinking, I was like, I could afford it, but like just barely. And then it turned out to be even less than I thought it was. I'm like, well, then I could afford it. Fuck.
Right.
Now I can't have him hold that over my head.
No,
and
then
with the balls stuff. That's my mom. She's paying for that. That's like his 5th birthday present right there. So he gets to go be less spazzed out with other dogs.
Right. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so when we got him back, I spent the whole kind of like car ride home just kind of like backfilling the hole I dug, so that similar to any sort of self-deprecating thing. Get in front of it before he can fucking say anything. Get in front of it before he can say anything.
What if you guys had
because I was just kind of like, yeah, well, if he was been faking this whole time, because when I got to the vet and he got out of the car, he was so excited that he was walking normal.
Right.
And I was just like, if this motherfucker was faking this whole time so that he could go and fucking hang out with some other dogs, dude. Somebody get this dog a goddamn Oscar right now.
Because he knows.
He knows.
What if you had gotten in the car and your dad had just immediately gone, well, that was useless. What would you have done?
I would have been like, well, at least we know.
That's a good answer. See, no, that was the thing. Like with Pluto, your blood blister on the toe, and he's just got this annoying problem with just chewing, whatever's bothering him, and then he infects it, and then it's a whole thing, So I had to take him there, take him to the place, got antibiotics, no big deal. The vet said he's beautiful, so I was like, that's my boy. And then took him home, and to keep him from nibbling continuously until the antibiotics really kicked in, you got to put the cone on him, right? When we had Teddy, he'd put the cone on him once or twice, needed to, and because Teddy stepped on a piece of glass, I remember, and like needed to get like a bandage on his, and he did not want that bandage on his foot. He couldn't walk on it, right? So nibble, had to put the cone on, and he was okay from what I remember. I was really young, but I remember he was like, fine, I'll just take a nap in this thing.
Right.
Pluto does not sleep. He does not move. He just stops, whether he was standing up or lying down, and just stays. And it's the saddest thing I have ever. It's like a lampshade that no longer wants to go forward. I'm
going to throw the picture up of it on the video podcast, but that reminds me, when we first got Winston, and my sister recommended that we get him something called a Thunder shirt. And that's designed to, help with anxiety, but just like, being like a security sort of thing. And I got it for him, put it on him, and he did exactly that.
Yep.
It was over there by that long table, and he just stood there after I put it on him, and then he just had this look on his face like, why did you do this to me?
Yeah, like it's some sort of horrible punishment. Yeah.
What did I do?
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. So I was worried that he would need a cone this time. I'm just like, because, he might just shut down completely with this thing on. Getting through the dog door is going to be a totally different ballpark for him. Yep. He's going to be a totally fucked up dog because of this experience. Meanwhile, when Katie had her surgery, Katie the dog, not the sister.
No, of course.
And she...
With an IE.
Yeah, we had to get her eyeball removed and part of her tail bobbed and then a big old tumor off her hind quarter. But she was so old at the time that when we got her back, they gave her that foam cone thing. Did you have the plastic one for Pluto? Ooh.
The lampshade.
Yeah, no, that foam one I think did wonders for her because she was totally blind, totally almost deaf. And I have this picture, I'll throw that up here too, of her standing at the top of the stairs looking down with this thing, like with a big old smile on her face, like I don't know what anything is.
Why are we doing this? All right. I mean,
I'm just out to lunch anyways, so why not make this weird?
Yeah, exactly.
Why not make wagging my tail feel lighter?
And I mean, if you want a lesson in life, it's why not make this weird? You know what I mean? Like Katie was living the life we all wish we could.
Yeah.
100%.
Being taken care of by people that you didn't really much like until you realize that's all you got.
Precisely. Exactly. I'm seeing if there's a Pluto cone that I can throw in here.
Yeah, just airdrop it to me.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. What else? What else is new, man? I mean, what's going on?
Been digging more into Succession.
Got
my mom.
Success.
Got my mom on the Success train.
It's quite the show.
Yeah, I've only advanced a couple more episodes, but the show that I
savor it. That's what I would say. Savor.
I'm enjoying it so far, but the show that I haven't been savoring because it's been just like jaw dropping was watching Dope Sick.
Yes,
and
with Mikey Keats.
With Mikey Keats, Rosario Dawes, freaking Peter Sars, just killer cast across the board.
Killing it.
Mikey Stools,
top to bottom.
And because you know the story. You watched the HBO documentary. I never got around to it because I was just like...
Big Pharma. Purdue.
Purdue. You know? And OxyContin. Anytime that they keep saying OxyContin, I think of Creed when he was talking to Meredith about what kind of painkillers she got when she got hit by the car. He's just like, what were you on? Percocet, Vicodin, Oxycodone, OxyContin? Like, he's just really pressing because he's in the market.
Yep.
But I'm watching this show and the writing phenomenal. The jumps in time fucking expertly done.
Okay.
The cast is too killer, Jack. Like
too killer.
If I don't know if they give like outstanding cast awards. I think they do. Outstanding like ensemble cast awards. For a limited series, this will win. For best supporting actor, I think Michael Stuhlbarg will win for playing Richard Sackler, which chilling.
Sacklers
dude.
are a bunch of fucks, dude.
Yeah, he's playing Richard Sackler, and he is fucking chilling. Like, I texted you the comparison, and I'm going to just say it for the audiences. Like, you thought that Steve Carell was really fucking creepy as John DuPont. Well, you take that and you apply it to somebody who's not as weird.
Yeah.
He's just as creepy, but not as weird, where he's like, oh, just bring the U.S. Olympics team to my house so I can badly wrestle them and live out some sort of fantasy and then get jealous of the brother of one of them and murder him. Because at least with John DuPont...
That was real, man.
Yeah.
That actually happened.
That actually happened. But at least with John DuPont, as sad as it is, only one person died. With Richard Sackler, he's trying to live out the fantasy of being his uncle, or at least this is how he's characterized, of trying to be like Arthur Sackler, who got like... Valium to be a popular drug. And by creating a new medical phenomenon, like I can't remember what it was called. It was like mental stress or something like that. And that's what made Valium the branch off of whatever lithium thing was going on at the time. OxyContin, he had to come up with, was it breakthrough pain? If it's not lasting 12 hours, then your patient has something called breakthrough pain. Double up their dose.
Yes. Oh, I think I talked. This is the guy who had like the horse pill that he would take. I think I've told it on the podcast
because that's how that thing goes with drugs like that. Well, any substance, your tolerance grows, so your dependency grows. So it's just like, how do we get these people addicted to this thing that we already know is addicted,
right?
And then make them buy more and to get even more addicted to it.
And the horse pill one that I remember that was like just so jarring was basically they came out with this version of oxycodone. They have like the 40 mm's or whatever, 60, 80, however you say.
Yeah.
And then they got up to like a 180 and it looked like a horse pill. And they basically tested it on this one guy who they were testing it on, who was a former heroin addict, who basically did so much heroin that he almost became immune to the effects of heroin. And so they're like, oh yeah, we'll get you this, it'll help with your recovery, all that.
Way stronger,
and he literally was prescribed between 25 to 50 of these 180 milligram or MMs or whatever they're called, pills per day.
Oh
He had to take them basically like he was eating cereal, and then they used that. So it's like, that's one thing. He didn't die. He was interviewed in the documentary, but
that's outrageous.
What happened was then they said, oh, this is safe of upwards of 50, pills per day, right? Yeah. It's not, if I took that, I would die for sure, right? But they like how many pills I bought before I passed. So why not, know?
And dude, just how they've broken down the story. So you got Peter Sarsgaard and one other guy. They are the federal attorneys that are trying to pursue this. And they are trying to work with Rosario Dawson, who's a DEA agent who became aware of this stuff being run in the black market. And it's specific, like, stores, like pharmacies get broken into. Only OxyContin is stolen. Not Vicodin, not Percocet, only OxyContin. And so it's from her perspective. And then you get Michael Keaton's perspective, who's a doctor for this small mining town in Virginia. And one of his patients is played by Caitlin Dever, who gets in a pretty bad mining accident. And Will Poulter is playing the sales reps, and so you get to even see the sales rep side, what the misinformation Purdue was giving them to continue to misinform and feed it down the line, and how much whining and dining they did to all the doctors and shit.
Oh, yeah.
But episode 4, the one I'm on, it takes because it's bouncing back and forth between 2005, 2002, and 1996. Well, in episode 4, it goes to 1997 because 96 was when Oxy came out, 97, and buddy, it's shocking. Yeah, like the developments with these characters and the developments with OxyContin as a problem was that fast. Like pretty brutal OD scene, pretty brutal just people, how they interact about the shit.
Right.
And the number one thing about these people is it's not that they're taking the drug to enjoy it. They're taking it because the withdrawals are so bad.
Yes.
That they are just trying to stave those off.
Yeah, it's like drinking a Bud Light after being hungover.
So when it comes down to stories like this, because I'm waiting for this season to finish panning out before I really get into it, dude, it's people like Richard Sackler that it's like they need to be publicly executed.
Yeah.
They need to be publicly executed. John DuPont, crazy rich ambition shit, and also inbreeding, definitely inbreeding. Drove that dude crazy. Killed only one guy. Richard Sackler's weird, hyper rich family dynamics drove him to kill thousands, tens of thousands of people. Ugh.
And continues to.
Yeah. And it was funny because I even watched
worse year than 2020.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
Of overdose deaths.
Yeah.
So it's only getting worse.
Yeah. And it was kind of funny before I even started the show. I was like, whatever happened of this? Because I know that the story is out there.
Right.
And people know.
Well, and the thing that sucks is that like prescription drugs really do help. Like they, in and of themselves, are not the problem. The profits that come with them become the massive problem. Well, because then the profits come above the well-being of the patients.
Yeah, to the point that like it's almost just a marriage. It's such a fucked system that we have here that it's a marriage between pharmacies and insurance. It's a complete marriage with it where it's like pharmaceutical companies will charge an outrageous amount of money for their pills, upcharge it. To the point that if you don't have insurance, you cannot afford it unless you're rich. And if you're rich, you'd have the best insurance.
Yep.
So it's a complete fucking catch-22 in that regard. Because, I mean, what was it? When I started Wellbutrin last year, I went to go get one bottle, and they hadn't quite gotten my prescription to go all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, or no, it was before the Wellbutrin even. It was with the Trintellix that dipshit doctor tried to prescribe me, like the strongest SSRI that you could jump to from nothing. And Wellbutrin's not even an SSRI. So I go there and I'm like, I have this coupon and I tell him like, yeah, my doctor should have sent it in, but that fucking quack didn't send anything in because he's a fucking quack. And they're like, oh yeah, but you know, you can still get it. You just got to talk to your insurance, all that. And we talk to them and they say, well, we can't get back from the insurance right now. You can get them now still $360 for a $30 bottle of pills on insurance.
Yep.
You know, and it's like, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. And they like recommend that good RX, whatever the thing is, the discount medical thing where you get coupons. And I'm like, no, I'll stay being depressed.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, yeah.
Just that little bit longer. Then I get in to the physician's assistant after COVID, and she hooked it right up. Right up.
There we go.
And it was like, yeah, Welly Buttes, baby.
Love it.
Only $45 a bottle for a 3-month supply.
Hey, that's a good deal,
That's
man.
a killer deal.
Yeah, compared to what I have to pay for Alpha Brain, I mean, that's
That's
a
outrageous.
steal right there.
That's outrageous. The Alpha Brain upcharges. Now let's talk about Little Pharma, huh? The Onnits of the world.
The what are they called? Nootropics industry.
Yeah. But before I watched Dope Sick, I was like, whatever came of that. So, because I remember you talking about Purdue, and I go and I look him up. I go to Purdue's website. There's no website. There's just one page saying, like, this company basically had been dissolved and absorbed by another company, and all of the profits and proceeds or whatever is going back towards combating the opioid epidemic. And it's like, oh, well, good. Somebody saw justice.
Right.
But at the same time, like you said, last year was the fucking worst year.
You hope that's what's happening, but it's very easy for that company to acquire Purdue and then say, to get people off our ass about this, let's say that's where the money's going. But how could you or I ever know that? You know,
the only thing that I would
very
say
easy to
is
say
that prescribing is a lot less frequent because it's back to being that all of these are Schedule II narcotics that are highly addictive substances. And if you're genetically predisposed, you're fucked, basically.
Yeah.
You know, because like my dad was telling me about how he got this surgery because I was telling him a little bit about it at lunch today. And I think he either got Oxy or Vicodin, and it just made him sick, you know?
Yeah.
And he's just like, nope, fuck that.
I remember I had
take Tylenol or just tough it out.
Right. I had Vicodin after the wisdom teeth. That's the only time I can remember.
Didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I remember, like, I took Vicodin, and the one thing I can remember of, like, a druggy thing was when you guys all came over, and I was, like, at one of my trees, and, like, I don't know if I was hugging it or humping it, but I was all about that tree. And it was the big tree that's next to the, I guess this isn't very specific, but the ski lift swing chair.
Oh.
And I don't know, I just remember being plastered to that tree and everybody was laughing. And then I don't remember anything else about my experience with Vicodin. Like I remember days after, like, not feeling like it was, I mean, I wasn't hurting as much because I took the appropriate amount and I did it safely and whatnot.
And addiction doesn't run in your family, does it?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
So like that's where we're lucky in a sense. But
so when my dad told me that experience, I was just like, okay. But then for me, when I got my wisdom teeth out, they gave me the like really big Tylenols, like 1,600 milligram Tylenols or whatever the fuck, 600 milligram, I think that's what it is. And like, I remember kind of being bummed because everybody was hyping it up. It's like, dude, when you get the wisdom teeth out, the painkillers, bro. You know, it's like you get to get high with the lowest invasive surgery you possibly could.
Right.
And I mean, this was even before we even started drinking or smoking weed. I was just kind of like...
Yeah, it was really our first, like, stimulant.
Yeah,
you know?
And I was just kind of like, I don't know, I'll go into this and just see what the hype is about. Then they gave me those Tylenols, and I was just like, oh, dude. But the wisdom teeth pain didn't even end up being that bad.
You know when I did need Vicodin was about a week afterward. We all went to a Rockies game, We took the light rail downtown. We go to the Rockies. We're hanging out. You know, our old friend Connor Bessie, you know, we're hanging out. I'm bugging him as I do. You know, I'm giving him some pokes and some prods, and he's not appreciating it. So he decides to turn around, and you remember Connor's strong, maybe probably the strongest of us all at this point, and he just double hand slaps me in the jaw. And then you could tell by his face he had forgotten about the surgery because he did not stop saying sorry, which I appreciated. But I literally thought my jaw and my forehead were gonna fall like that, and I just the whole light rail ride back, it did not get any better.
Well, it goes to show you, Jack.
I needed Vicodin.
Figure out, yeah.
Give me Oxy.
Or just don't provoke people.
Well,
I'm always going to be doing that.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have a show if that were the case, if I weren't doing
Jack,
that.
you are an energy vampire. You are Colin Robinson.
I like to think I'm a fun energy
You're going to
vampire.
die at 100 and then be reborn.
100%. Watch out. Check out
This week's
reviews
DMT
episode.
reviews.
coming out this Halloween. Or I guess it's already
been Halloween at this point.
Guys, I got to tell you about my health problems. Okay.
Well, I didn't even finish.
Oh, shit, my bad.
Because that was what I was going to say is, but for my dad, addiction doesn't run on his side of the family. On my mom's side of the family, it runs.
Sure.
And if I got Vicodin back then, I probably would have fallen in love and been a pill-popping junkie today. But I stuck to the Harold Ramis adage, no pills, no powders. If it comes from the ground, it's probably all right for you. And I almost don't count alcohol in that sector, even though it comes from organic stuff. It's manufactured, but at the same time,
technically, cocaine comes from natural things.
Yeah.
I mean, at all.
Okay, then yeah. So alcohol
heroin
classified
comes
with
from-
the weed and the shrooms.
Yeah. Well, and you could throw heroin in there because it comes from poppy plants.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be shooting anything up.
Now, I'm going to be taking it in pill form, okay?
I'm already not going to take the pill. What do you think I'm going to do?
I'm so angry that Purdue dissolved.
I'm already. I want my oxys, man. Oxys are like Quaaludes at this point. They're going to be a highly sought after drug. Like, props, though. Yeah, way to go, Sackler.
Yeah, hey, go to the Sackler family, living the American dream.
Yeah, fucking people over for the name of the mighty dollar.
Yep. Gotta love them.
Speaking of mighty dollars, Jack, did you hear the news? Facebook got a new name. Facebook got a facelift.
Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg announced it yesterday that Facebook is no
Turning
longer
into facelift?
Yes.
Yes!
No.
I put money on that like 10 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry, you lost.
I'm going to make $3 million.
So you're not Kevin Malone in this situation where if Kobe Bryant won an Oscar, he was going to be a very rich man, and Kobe Bryant won an Oscar,
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But he changed it, and I saw this yesterday, so many things to like kind of unpack. Because I didn't watch much of the videos. I watched people's reactions.
Because I haven't heard anything
commentaries.
about this, so I want to hear everything.
Because Facebook as a company has become more than just Facebook in such a different ways. I mean, they got fucking Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Oculus, and they're moving into much bigger sectors.
They don't have Snapchat, do they?
No.
Okay.
Luckily. But they still have Instagram. And I think they had to sell off WhatsApp because they were monopolizing. And but that's the thing. Oh my gosh.
I sent a lot of pictures.
Well, it's other people blowing me up, and it's like, you know what time it is.
That's fair, man. It's fair.
DMT,
don't miss the podcast.
Yeah, and I gotta get this thing out.
No, you're right, man. Tell us about the new Facebook.
It's called Meta.
What, is Ron Artest running the fucking show now? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Is Instagram going to become world peace?
No, Jack, you know what it's going to be is, this is all stuff, very surface level. I only read the headlines on this one. But it's going to be more focused on broader things than just Facebook. So they're learning, they've become kind of self-aware that the actual Facebook platform is pretty much gonzo. And to keep going by that name of an almost derelict program is pretty unwise. So it makes all the sense of the world to change
That's
the
like
name
if
to Meta.
MySpace owned YouTube and still went by MySpace.
Yeah. you know, or like, yeah, MySpace owned YouTube and Xbox, and Facebook, whatever the next thing was, and then kept going by MySpace. It's like it doesn't work. It goes better. But what I saw was that it's an emphasis on creating a broader virtual connectivity thing. So like virtual reality social networking, basically. Because they got Oculus.
Is it METTA?
Nope, just one A or one T.
Okay.
So it's like super meta. Like the name itself is meta about how it is.
You know what I think it means? You know what I think it stands for? Matrix entering the atmosphere. I think they
Matrix entering the arena.
The arena, that's even better. They're literally trying to create the Matrix.
100%.
I mean, 100. That's what this sounds like to me, is a complete dependence on the internet and social media.
And butt fucking Mark Zuckerberg is the exact kind of guy. Butt fuckers are... Butt Fuckerberg. There we go. That's it.
That's a good one.
Mark Butt Fuckerberg is the exact kind of guy to bring this shit into fruition because he is so fucking creepy. Yeah.
He's an autistic robot.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing.
I'm pretty sure. Did I show you that video where he was doing a live stream barbecuing?
I think you've told me
where he keeps talking about Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Now, Jack, when he's presenting this thing, it's from his home. And it's very clearly in an office, too. He's got bookshelves behind his head. It's like there's a bunch of books, and then the bookend is a Sweet Baby Ray's fucking bottle, dude. I'm not kidding you. I'm going to put that on the video podcast. It's a Sweet Baby Ray's bottle.
Good for Mark, I guess. He's got his barbecue sauce of choice.
Yeah, way to go, Mark.
Yeah, way to go, Mark.
You really did it.
Yeah,
you went from being a horribly sexist, judgmental person to being a law-breaking, almost borderline treasonistic human being who's going to try and launch people's psychology into the internet. He wants to create the singularity.
Dude, he loves barbecue sauce, though. That makes him so human. It's crazy.
Sweet Baby Ray's.
He's just, what if he is a robot and
baby back ribs with Sweet Baby Ray's?
He literally
gotta have my baby back ribs with Sweet Baby Ray's.
The only way to interact with human beings is to find something like barbecue sauce, like that one talking point. And all he ever talks about outside of, I guess we gotta call it meta now, is fucking barbecue sauce.
Yeah, and I'm gonna throw this graphic up there with the handle to it. So there's this guy that I follow on Twitter. He's one of the only reasons I still have Twitter. There's this guy named Pixelated Boat. That's his handle. But then he has a separate name on Instagram where he does comics. And I've sent you the comic several times. He's called One Giant Hand on there. But Pixelated Boat is so great because what he'll do is he'll take something and make it look like somebody actually said this quote. And like, so after Trump, that book, what was it called? Fire and Fury came out. It's like inside the Trump White House and all that. He goes, I can't believe that Trump allowed them to post this thing. And he just writes this entire long section as if it was pulled out of the book about how Trump was obsessed with gorillas. He would constantly say that the office aides, he's like, put on the gorilla channel. And then no matter how much they explained to him
put on the gorilla channel.
Put on the gorilla channel. I want to watch the gorillas.
I want to watch the apes.
Sir, a gorilla channel doesn't exist. It really doesn't exist.
You're telling me that there isn't a channel that repeatedly plays King Kong, Jane Goodall, and Mighty Joe Young?
Yes, sir. There's no channel that has all of
them. Then make it and put it on the screen.
And that's what his next thing was. Is like, so eventually White House staff prepared several hours of clips of gorillas fighting each other. And if one of them got a good hit, Trump would sit next to the TV and just go, that was good. That was a good hit. And so he put that out there and people started retweeting it and totally getting the joke. Fox News gets a hold of it and thinks that's actually part of the book. So how hilarious is that?
They like did a whole segment about Trump's love of gorillas.
Of that section of it. It's like, I can't believe they would put this shit out in a book about our commander-in-chief. And it's like,
what a country.
What a country.
We got so many gorillas.
Not enough, I don't think.
Not enough.
If we could convert to gorilla power by 2024, it would be the greatest success in the world.
We can overtake the Congo and save all the Western Hill gorillas.
So fucking dumb.
We will become the greatest.
But he did that for this Mark Zuckerberg thing. I'm going to throw it up here. Because is it possible that the metaverse creatures could become real and escape into our world? Yes, but we believe that they would find Earth.
Yes.
Yes.
We need to address this right away.
Is it possible for the metaverse creatures?
Your worries are real.
Yes. But we believe that they would find Earth's atmosphere so toxic that they would become sick and die within a matter of weeks. So what I was picturing from that too now is like they open up the metaverse and the metaverse creatures start being a thing, and then they start getting into the world through like the rift, like Pacific Rim.
They all look like,
and then they come out, they're kaiju, wreak havoc for 2 weeks, and then just drop dead. But oh my god, this guy did one. Fuck, that killed me. Like a series of them for Mindhunter. That was great. But there was one with Tom Brady that I could find pretty easily. It was a while ago. That
I'm still stuck on Trump and gorillas.
Trump and gorillas.
Funny gorilla
I gotta
story.
find. I think that excerpt is near this picture. So
Fun gorilla story that came out a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Turns out I think it was at a zoo in London, I want to say, that a group of people were looking at the gorillas, and then all of a sudden one gorilla started jerking off another gorilla. And that's the end of the story.
That's pretty sweet. Now, okay, here's the actual excerpt. I'll waste my own time on this one.
Let's go.
Because it's so fucking well worded. On his first night in the White House, President Trump complained that the TV in his bedroom was broken because it didn't have the gorilla channel.
Mary! Where's the gorilla channel?
Trump seemed to be under the impression that a TV channel existed that screened nothing but gorilla-based content 24 hours a day.
Where are the silverbacks? I need my silvers!
To appease Trump, White House staff compiled a number of gorilla documentaries into a makeshift gorilla channel.
Now listen, there's just not that many gorilla documentaries out there. How many hours does he want? He wants endless screen. God damn it.
That's so much better.
We're going to have to put into all 3 King Kongs.
They broadcast it into Trump's bedroom from a hastily constructed transmission tower on the South Lawn. However...
Mary, I found the gorilla channel. There's so many gorillas. Did you know there's a 25-foot tall gorilla?
Or is he yelling at Melania, or is Maria a staff member?
She's a staff member.
Okay.
She's just hanging out. Did you know there's a 25-foot gorilla that Jack Black met once? It's amazing.
However, Trump was unhappy with the channel that they had created, moaning that it was boring because the gorillas aren't fighting.
It turns out that these are the same footage over and over again, and there's not a single gorilla battle.
Staff added it out, all the parts of the documentaries where gorillas weren't hitting each other. And at last, the president was satisfied. On some days, he'll watch the gorilla channel for 17 hours straight, an insider told me. He kneels in front of the TV with his face about 4 inches from the screen and says encouraging things to the gorillas.
Mary, I've always felt like I was one of these beasts. Have you not as well? Hey, hit him! Give him a right! Give him a left!
Encouraging things to gorillas like, the way you hit that other gorilla was good. I think he thinks the gorillas can hear him.
They're just behind the glass. It's like the zoos.
Yeah.
It's just a tiny zoo. Why doesn't anybody understand this?
But now we're on to the metaverse creatures. Is it possible for them to get into our world?
Wanted to give people context here.
And then here's the Tom Brady one. And this could be a nice segue. It's football day, and I'm hungry for football. I can't wait to get on the field and get that football in my hands and take a bite out of it like it was a big old apple.
That's why he does that at the beginning of every game. Well, now it makes sense.
I don't care if they cancel the game because of it. I don't care if I need surgery to remove undigestible chunks of leather from my intestine.
Well,
as God is my witness, I am going to eat a football. Tom Brady.
That's the reason that the whole Deflategate thing happened, was that Tom was chowing down because it was the playoffs and he was nervous. So he took a couple extra bites out of the pigskin and the refs were a little suspicious.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. There's another Trump one, and I'm going to do the entire thing in an impression.
Got it.
Small business owners are the backbone of American economy. Small business owners like Tom Richardson. Tom is here with us tonight. Hi, Tom. He runs Tom's luxury bathtubs in Maine. Now, I bought a bathtub from Tom in 1987. Solid marble. Beautiful thing. But when I got home, I realized I bought the exact same bathtub just 2 days before. Can you believe it? I tried to return the tub, but Tom wouldn't give me the money back. He said the tub was chipped. I said, that's not my problem, Tom. He just wouldn't listen. Security, I want you to tase Tom. Yes, good. Now tase him again. Excellent. Keep tasing him until he's dead. It will work. I've seen his file. He has a heart condition. You should have given me my money, Tom. Donald Trump, direct quote.
He did that while the Gorilla Channel was in the background the whole time.
Yep. And this one is fitting because we're about to head into November.
Of course.
And as of this recording, it will be November. And this is one of him. It's a picture of V for Vendetta. And it goes, because you remember, I don't know, did you see that movie?
I have not.
Okay, well, at the beginning of it, it starts with Hugo Weaving's voice going like, remember the 5th of November. Or something like that. It's around that, something November.
Evidently not.
Oh, fucking. Where am I today?
Yeah, come on.
My head's all up in the pixelated boat clouds, you know, fucking.
Evidently not.
This guy, I really love his sense of humor because it's just so simple and so stupid and so funny all at the same time. Where it's this poster of V for Vendetta and it goes, in a world of Novembers, one man dared to dream of a yes-vember.
Oh my God.
V for November. That's the level of the guy you're working with here.
You know.
And he trolled Fox News on a level hitherto unheard of.
I'm glad that, you know what, I'm really, really glad the gorillas threw a wrench into Fox News.
Me too. Me too. That was so good.
Let's go gorillas.
He keeps his face about 4 inches from the screen and says encouraging things to the gorillas.
Like, hit him harder.
It was good. It was a good hit.
It's a good hit.
So dumb.
Oh, man. What stuff. What stuff. Oh, back to the health thing real quick. So real quick, short story, but a very annoying aspect of my week that has become part of my life now as of yesterday morning. So I'm about to turn 26 in Yes-vember. And I think, you know, got to get health insurance. You know, you got to take care of yourself, right? That sucks, but you got to do it. And based on my job, you know, it's I don't get health insurance through work, so I got to find it myself. So I go online and I search for a couple, you know, health insurance area companies around the area, and you know, just to get an idea. And I put in my phone number into, I think, 2 inquiries. Maybe. And then my mom was like, oh, let's just call the insurance. And we did, and it ended up working out very well. But since I put in my phone number to maximum 2 websites, I have gotten, since yesterday morning at around 8 a.m., I have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 29 phone calls, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 texts.
That's cool.
From insurance people who want me to get their thing. So if you're looking for health insurance, don't give them your phone number because they will literally harass you.
Fucking whoops.
Yep, they will harass you. So just less of a story, more of a PSA. Just want to throw that out.
Well,
there to
and the thing too is how much it is like you even type in the first letter or number of your email address or of your phone number, and it's like almost as if you just started dumping a pile of shit, and then the flies just.
Yep. Oh, that's exactly what is happening.
Yeah, flies like from Africa fly all the way over here.
Yeah. Because they get that smell.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
outrageous.
God. Just speaking to like taking advantage of the healthcare system and trying to make a profit out of it. It's not like they're taking my money, but they're really, really trying to get me to give them my money. So that's great, and that's annoying.
Yeah, it's less about how good the health insurance they're going to take care of you with. It's more that your money is going to them and not the other guy.
That's exactly right, even though my money is already going to much nicer people.
Yeah, that's why I think it's funny that Best Buy is always like, always with our price match guarantee. And I'm like, like, pretty much every retail store will do a price match guarantee because they'd rather, even if it's a reduced price, your money go to them than to the other guys.
I can't emphasize to all these companies that are calling me, it's a waste of your time. I know you waste your time all day making useless phone calls, but hey, maybe one less, maybe one less.
Jack, I really do think that the amount of phone calls you're going to get before you settle on something is pretty close to,
Unlimited.
Yeah. So there's some layers to that right there that I can't get into right now, but I will talk about some sports. Okay, I'll get into it. I'll get some picks in here real quick. I'll fly through them because this upcoming week's a big week in sports. We got the NFL. We're into some real football now. Okay, September, that's figuring out, are you good or are you not? October, are you good enough? November, are you great, right? NBA, we're getting in the swing of things, right? We got a couple games under our belt. Let's really start getting into the rhythm of it.
We got the quadfecta of sports going on right now.
That's right. We got
as of this recording, the World Series is going to probably be over by that next week, right?
By Thursday, game 1, I think, was last night. No, game 2 was last night, which would have been.
Well, who gives a fuck about
Who gives a fuck? Exactly. Who cares about Astros and Braves? That's a hard one. What am I going to do? A comet flying at a Native American tribe? I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm not going to do that bit.
Yeah.
No. What I am going to do is the NBA. I'm going to start with the game Friday, November 5th, okay? Tomorrow, from when this podcast airs, 5 p.m. There's a classic matchup in our nation's capital between the Grizzlies and the Wizards. I'll tell another one of my famous stories, okay? There once was a wizard who thought he knew more than anybody else. But he didn't. Because what he didn't know was that when he's traveling, you can't sleep in caves. You just can't do it in November because that's when the Grizzlies are starting to begin their preparation for hibernation. So think about
must have skipped that book that day.
Must have skipped the book. I know. And you'd think this wizard, he would know everything. He would just be able to put his wand to his head and get the information. Too dumb, right? Should have got a smartphone, right?
Laszlo ripped that page out and said, I'll wank my way, you wank yours.
Exactly. It was crucial information, much like what Laszlo did. But this Grizzly is not going to help this Colin Robinson type wizard, right? No. Because think about it when your mom is doing like spring cleaning, right? If you touch a fucking thing that she's working on, she's going to scream at you. Okay, she's got a system. She's got a process. Okay, this is deep clean. We only do these 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 times a year. Okay, we need to take them seriously. So get into it, right? Redo everything. Tidy it up. In a cave, you have stalactites, which can't really move, right? You might have a couple bodies of water, but you want to make sure that those are clean, that they got the chlorine in there, so if you wake up for some reason in February, you can take a dip in the little pool, right? Get a little relaxed, hop back into bed, get a night's hibernation, right? Well, this goddamn dumbass Gandalf comes into the goddamn cave, and he's like, oh, the lights. And he does the light thing that happens in Moria. He's like, a little bit more light. And there's more. And then all of a sudden, there's a grizzly bear. Yeah, screaming in his face. And he goes, oh, bippity boppity boo, right? Goddamn idiot. Bippity boppity boo isn't an actual spell, okay? That's what they say on, like, posters and shit of wizards, right? This guy wasn't a real wizard. Yeah. This guy's a snake oil salesman, Sammy B. Like Radagast from frickin' The Hobbit, right? You know why he's not in Lord of the Rings? He's not a real wizard. He's just a dude that gets shit on by birds on his face, okay?
Eats a lot of mushrooms.
He thinks he's a wizard because he eats mushrooms just like this dipshit that went in the cave. I got the Grizzlies by a 30-point blowout.
Okay.
It's going to be a good one.
But I swear to God, Jack, if you ever bear-splain me anything again, I will slap you.
I didn't bear-splain. I
bear-splained
to the wizard, that stupid-ass wizard, but not to you, buddy.
You know what? I'm gonna let this one slide, say you were bear-splaining the audience. But don't you tell me about bears, cleaning the caves.
How was my grizzly? I thought it was okay. I got to oomph to it,
I mean, you sounded more like... God damn it! What am I thinking of? You were more of a 1960s Baloo than a Brother Bear.
I was ready to get mad at you. I was ready to get really mad, But I don't think I've ever felt closer to you as a friend than in this moment right now, that you knew that's where I wanted to be.
Was to be a Baloo.
Bare necessities, a simple bare necessity.
See, that's the thing with you. It's like, people don't understand it, but Baloo is a triggering subject for you. If you misrepresent, you even down talk, even dismiss Baloo the bear, the sloth bear, you're on Jack's shit list.
That's right. Anybody that calls him a sun bear,
show me the crest.
Show me the crest.
Show me the crest.
Where's the crest? Okay.
Where's the crest?
Look at the big floppy ears.
And if anything, they should be called fucking moon bears.
Okay, look at his claws. Look at how he eats things. That's what sloth bears do. Okay.
He's lazy.
Like a sloth.
Lazier than the average bear.
That's why he's fun.
That's why he hires child labor to go get his honey.
That's what I'm saying. See, and things are tricky in the wild. And speaking of the wild, on Saturday, the next day, November 6th, we got a big NHL matchup, okay? We're getting some hockey again, okay? Again, we're getting into some hockey. It's getting exciting. It's getting fun. I want to talk about the Wild versus the Penguins, okay? Much as we discussed last week in your beautiful explanation of what to do when stranded alone after being kidnapped and thrown into Antarctica. You really took care.
Penguicide.
You really took care of those penguins, and you treated them, like the tauntauns sleeping in their bellies. You used them for what you needed, but you eventually became part of the ecosystem. That's beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm. I became the apex predator.
Now,
leopard seals were like getting mad at me. Like they were buying
right.
the penguins from me. Like I was, generating a self-sustaining economy with the leopard seals because I was the one doing all the hunting. And it's like, hey man, if you do something good, never do it for free.
That's exactly right. Now, what a lot of people don't realize though is before old Sammy B got there, these penguins were doing it on their own. Okay, they were surviving, thriving. Okay, the quote-unquote wild of Antarctica, it ain't got shit on a goddamn emperor penguin, okay? So, let's keep this one simple. Penguins, when there's not a rabid Sammy B, running through the snow, are one of the most efficient survival beings on this planet. These birds can swim. They can't fly, we think. And they are all about the cold. No other birds can survive in the cold. I got the Penguins 3 goals beating the Wild, okay? This is a child's play matchup. The Penguins live in the wild.
Yeah.
So that's
also, what a cop-out for a team name.
The Wild?
Yeah. We just encompass all the animals.
Yeah, we are the trees, we are the animals, we are the rocks.
That would be like if Washington football team...
We are anything without a building.
Yeah, that'd be like if Washington football team just named themselves the continents.
It might happen.
It's like Earth. We're now going down to the Washington Earths football game. And they're just wearing sky blue with green.
Yeah.
If
you're gonna do green, you gotta
they got like North America, South America on this side, Europe and Asia on this side.
It might happen. I could see it. Those helmets would be interesting, to say the least. Let's get into football. Okay, last game I'll talk about here on that Sunday, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You got something to pay attention to, people, okay? Are we going to see the Grizzlies slaughter and rip open a wizard? Are we going to see a routine Penguin mastery of the Wild? I mean, these things are going to happen. But then Sunday, here's really important, because at 2:05 in the city of Philadelphia, we're dealing with the Chargers versus the Eagles. Now, I thought a lot about this game. There's a lot of complicating factors, a little of the lightning, indeed, a little of the eagle, different things like that. But really, the thing I want to focus on mainly is that when I was a young boy, the Denver Zoo got a couple bald eagles, right? And I was fascinated. I went up and I said, oh my God, what happened to these eagles? How'd you get them here, right? And they told me that one of them had been electrocuted and the other, I don't know what they actually said, but I told my mom it was allergic to feathers. So I'm basing this in that reality. We got an eagle soaring through the sky. It's like a normal plane, right? It's clear skies. Whoosh, whoosh, over Philadelphia, right? It's always sunny in Philadelphia, right? Until this guy
Mr. Odinson
starts making a little bit of ruckus, and you just got this bald eagle, doing its thing. Clouds start surrounding the bird, start going around it. All of a sudden, the mighty Thor shoots a bolt of lightning at the eagle. Now, the eagle is a majestic bird. It dives and weaves and swerves around the cloud. And then all of a sudden, you know, the eagle. What was that? He flies with his beak and he freaking hits Thor in the chest. Ow. Big time. His armor was not ready for that. What the fuck is going on? Thor starts swinging Mjolnir, making the tornado like he does with the Destroyer in the first one. And then, you know, but instead of a 9-foot giant metal man that shoots fire from its face, it's a regular sized bald eagle, right? The eagle flies right at him. Oh my God, he's falling from the sky.
Shit.
He can't even survive with his own freaking skin, right? Achoo. He's like, oh shit.
Holy shit.
I'm
I feel like
molting.
I'm there right now.
Oh my God, I'm molting. The feathers, they're falling off. Ah! And Thor's like, well, I guess I'll put it out of its misery. He shocks that I got Chargers by 14. But the Eagles will be winning until the fourth quarter.
No doubt. Definitely, for sure.
And that's Jack's picks for the week.
Yeah. I need to get a soundbite of the guy from the other guys going like, oh shit, I feel like I'm there right now. Like just to drop throughout every time you do Jack's picks.
I would be very happy.
Oh shit, I feel like I'm there right now.
I would be very happy if that ended up happening. Now, I do know that you got to go grind, bro.
Yeah, I got to go
here.
grind for that dollar bill, y'all.
Yeah,
Working all 3 days this weekend, and hopefully them tipperoonies are sweet. Hopefully the costumes are fun, and hopefully nobody pukes.
Rut Rose Scoob.
Zoinks.
Well, here's hoping to by the time people listen to this, we will know if all those things happened.
True that.
But they won't.
They won't.
All they'll know is our pondering, before.
Or pontificating.
Our thought during the quiet before the storm. But, much like the eagle, you have to fly right into that storm right now, bro. Ah! Yeah, let's go!
Yeah, but for real though, I mean,
I gotta go.
I just love it. I'm like, let's go. And you're just like, yeah.
We went into a 10, bring the show back down. We're about to end this bitch.
We did. We got to control ourselves.
And to do so, I got to remind everybody to like, rate, and subscribe on all the podcasting platforms. And especially keep an eye out. Some peepers on that DMT Studios YouTube page. We got Catching Up, first sketch we've ever filmed on it. And then, we got more exciting podcast stuff coming. And 100% put this down. That if it's not out already by the time this episode airs, get ready for table reads.
Oh, so exciting.
DMT presents table reads.
Yep.
If you're going to search it for Unexplainable Episode 1, Labor of Love.
Long journey. That is only really just getting started.
Truly, yeah.
Couldn't be more excited. Couldn't be more proud of what we put together. Couldn't be more honored to work with the actors we have gotten to work with. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you're going to really enjoy this.
Yes.
I sincerely mean that.
Sincerely. Yes, indeedy. As far as that goes, I guess follow us on Meta at SammyB_DMT at Silverback Sasquatch 1162. BestWorstCantina.com for all the dope shit, dad stuff.
Lots of great collabs.
Ian Solo's new album, they just performed live on there. So check that out.
Great friend of the show.
And otherwise, take it sleazy. Mary McCheesy.
Love you guys.